Now, today specifically, we're focusing on one of ACI's #1 strategic goals, which is workforce development, which the YPs have taken on themselves to say, hey, we're going to help with the strategic plan. This is what we want to do to help the strategic plan. So I would love for you, Lydia, because you came up with the initial idea. Tell us a little bit more about Say Yes.
Well, I think a group of us definitely came up with this idea because we were all talking about the same thing. How can we help with retainment? How can we, once we get some really awesome young people in the industry, how can we keep them? And one of the best things I think that we can do for young people today is celebrate when they are doing a great job, showing up to work every day. So we wanted to figure out a way to celebrate our exemplary apprentices out in the field the same way we do with our exemplary college students, like scholarship, right? So we came up with the Skill Trade Award in addition to the scholarship donation. And every year, the way we raise money for that award or those series of awards is typically through big events like Oktoberfest. And unfortunately, 2020 has really shut those types of things down. And we back in March, we anticipated that we needed to get creative with what we were doing. And with a group like ours, we get very creative and we like to have a lot of fun. So we came up with this event, Say Yes to the Mess, and initially the idea was that we were going to have folks representing their companies get messy, as in food fight messy, just covered in some nasty stuff.
Yay,
eggs and
eggs.
flour, chocolate. But in light of everything really just staying the course the way it is, our executive director, Terry, came up with a fantastic idea to let's hold off on the food and put the money we would have spent towards that, make an extra donation, a special donation to the Cincinnati Free Store Food Bank. So we get to add that to our list of wonderful things that we're doing today. And that doesn't mean, though, that our participants are escaping a mess. No, it doesn't.
That's not how we roll.
And I feel that because I'm going to be involved in this at the end of the day, too. And so is Eric. Eric's going to be getting messy as well. So we are going to be starting here in just a minute. And before we get started, after we go through this, Erica is going to give us some information on how you can get involved with everything that we're doing. So if you feel like, oh, this is so cool and I want to be involved, we're going to talk a little bit more about that after we get started. But what we're really excited about is how successful this fundraiser was. And it's thanks to everybody who's participating today, both here and at home, watching. We originally had a goal of just $5,000.
Just $5,000.
But I think we came in a little bit over that, didn't we?
I think a little bit. We ended up raising, thanks to everybody who's watching and participating, $12,160 for the ACI Skilled Trade Awards and ACI YP Scholarship.
That's so exciting. Thank you all so much. High fives. Yes. Conversation about scholarship is a great transition into our next participant, who happens to be an assistant dean at the University of Cincinnati. This is Miss Mandy Albrecht. Mandy is not only with UC, but she is also a board member with the Spirit of Construction, getting on her safety glasses over there. So Mandy partners with ACI in so many ways. I feel like I cannot go to any ACI event without seeing Mandy there. We're so happy to always have her, and she has been so helpful with so many of the things that we have done. Oh my goodness,
Go, Charlie!
Gracious.
Oh, you're beautiful,
Charlie was
Mandy.
the right person for this.
You know, it's if I, as a student, now I'm an NKU alum, but I love my UC Bearcats.
Go Bearcats!
Woo! What I will say is, if I had a professor, it's like Candy Mountain.
Yes.
If I had a professor that said, "Hey, vote for me, $10." You can see me get messy. I would be like, yes, please.
Well, as a dean, I'm sure that some students have seen her in a disciplinary form, maybe or not. So this might be something that they're really looking forward to today.
Yes, that's amazing. So tell us more about Mandy and her work with Spirit and ACI.
Yeah, so Mandy does a lot of work with the Spirit of Construction, certainly, who does a lot of work. But the stuff that's going on at UC for the construction industry is just wonderful. Their construction management program is fantastic, and they're continuing to grow that program. They have the College of Engineering and Applied Science Summer Camp. They had great success with that in partnership. We're hosted by Messer Construction, another ACI member company participating today.
Look at those
Oh
pigtails.
my goodness
Yes.
gracious. That is ridiculous. But UC does so much more than just one-off programs. They have a really cool partnership with Cincinnati Public Schools called CPS Strong, and this is something I'm really excited about because this is something that I work with every now and then.
That's awesome.
And it's about filling in those gaps. You know, here comes the face. Oh, that is
Yes! I just need to take a picture for my own social media. I mean, this is amazing. Go, Mandy. I am so proud of you.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, here comes the ice, my
Don't
friend.
worry, Mandy.
Oh.
He's going to rinse that off.
Yeah,
of
you're
you.
going to get rinsed off. You're fine. You're fine. Oh, my goodness. What a morning at ACI. It is only 9:20 a.m.
Well, this is a great way to wake up.
Heck yes, it is. Absolutely.
Sometimes you gotta get your cardio in, take a nice ice shower.
Yes, yes. Get that heart pumping, that blood pumping.
Okay, here we go.
Was that cold?
It's cold. Okay.
Oh, Mandy, you are a trooper. I'm sure that every single one of your students and your board members at Spirit are loving
We
this.
appreciate you, Mandy.
Oh my gosh. And thank you to our partnership with Spirit on so much of what we do and UC as well. Mandy has been instrumental, and I'm so sorry if you
Well, we're going to talk a little bit more about what you see.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay. So while Charlie is cleaning things up over here, let's talk a little bit about the CPS Strong program and why it exists.
Yes.
There are lots of things that are happening with our schools right now, right? I mean, they really have to be flexible in this current climate. But even before this, there were a lot of things that were changing. And one of those things that changed for CPS a while ago was that physics became optional for the schools, right? Depending on what school and whether they wanted to have it or not. And so is chemistry. Well, in order to get into the applied sciences, the engineering and applied sciences program over at UC, you got to have physics, right? You've got to have chemistry. So they partnered with CPS to provide a Cred Flex program, which means that these students can do work, show mastery, and get credit for that class.
That's amazing.
It is awesome. It's really awesome. But they need partners from the construction industry. They need to show how do we apply this in the construction industry. Teachers are masters at being teachers. We're masters at construction. So that's why we collaborate and figure out how those two things can work together.
I love all the cross collaboration we find in our community.
It's nice. Well, STEM is so big right now, and the construction industry is all STEM. It's all hands-on learning. So they have partners like Messer, who we mentioned previously, but also Schaefer. Schaefer's really big with CPS Strong. Who I know that we talked to them a while back. So a couple other things that they do is an annual robotics competition. They also have engaging engineering activities with classroom visits and an annual science quiz bowl. They do workshops, campus visits, and a lot more just to inspire students to come to UC and see what they can do over there. And I know that they have a lot of students, especially from Hughes High School, which is right across the street. They have a great partnership with Hughes High School, which is also a Cincinnati public school, of course.
Of course.
But we're always glad to see Mandy, and we're so grateful for her coming out and helping.
That's amazing. And Mandy brings a lot of her students into ACI YP as well. So she'll sit on the committee with us and get her students to come on over and get involved. So it's just a great partnership all around.